Gary DePaul with Unlabeled Leadership. Welcome to episode 112, Giving Thanks for 111 Episodes. Here's a shout out to listeners from 65 countries, 44 states and the District of Columbia in the United States, and 603 cities or territories. And a shout out to the 30 media platforms that distributes all the Unlabeled Leadership episodes, including KLDR Online or Leadership Development Radio out of St. Louis, Missouri. With that, let's get started. Here's some information about the 111 episodes. Of them, I've had 4 which were solo episodes. I've had 99 guests. 7 of those guests have been on 2 episodes. In one particular episode, I had 2 guests, Don Kirkey and Ajay Pangarkar. That was episode 44. 11 of the guests are veterans from the United States Armed Forces, including law enforcement. 14 of the guests currently live outside the United States. There's a great deal that goes into producing each episode. There's the recording session itself, a round of edits, and then an additional round to add the narration and soundtracks. Sometimes things have to be cut. You never know what could happen, and here's an example of a situation with Ed Muzio in episode 33 where I had to cut an interruption. I'll play for you what was cut. Talking about the results of whatever that experience was. If you would, hold on.
That's getting cut out, I assume.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Oh my gosh. I live with cats. I serve cats, and I have an older one who's a little grouchy, and he decided he wanted the spot where the other cat was and forced the other anyway.
Cat radio with Gary DePaul.
Yeah. Unlabeled Leadership is an all-volunteer service. I'm grateful for all the guests, all the listeners, and for the listeners who provide financial contributions, which offsets some of the costs. So far this year, I probably put in roughly about 600 hours of volunteer time to make this show happen. It's a labor of love, but I've learned so much from the guests and made so many new friends. It's all worth it. Part 1, and only Part 1, there's not a Part 2. Sharing gratitude during Thanksgiving weekend with Kim Ruyle. For the past 10 weeks, I've been sharing short videos called Your Map. These videos are roughly 1 to 2 minutes in length. MAP is Monday Action Plan, and the idea is simple. Each week on Mondays, I provide a single action that you could take throughout the week. While one action may not make that much of a difference, when they're accumulated over several weeks, several months, it has a profound effect. The idea is that you don't do them all at once, you just do one action per week. For the 10th one, which was out just this Monday, the action comes from Kim Ruyle, which was in episode 67, in which Kim shares something that happened to him that had a lot of meaning to him. Here's Kim's story.
I called one of the senior team members and I said, "Hey, Ken, I'm going to be in town on Thanksgiving weekend. Do you want to get together?" So we met for breakfast on a Saturday or Sunday morning of Thanksgiving weekend. And I asked him, "So how was your Thanksgiving?" He says, "Oh, Kim, it was great. The family was together." He said, "Hey, I got to tell you, we have this little tradition where we go around the table and we share what we're thankful for." So we're going around the table and it gets to me. And I said, "I've got 2 things." He said, "Number 1, I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for my family. But the second thing I want to share with you that I'm thankful for," he said, "as I reflect on my career, there was a team that I was part of that was such a special part of my career. It's been the highlight of my career." And he talked about this team. As he's telling the story, I almost started crying. I mean, it was so touching to me. And so his memory of that environment, that team environment and our accomplishments and our relationships has such a profound effect on him as it had on me. Part of it goes back to Vicky, who demonstrated that leadership to step up and really impress upon me that importance of giving and receiving feedback. So to me, that experience has shaped my career and my life to a very great extent.
This has been the Giving Thanks episode. I'd like to thank all of my listeners for listening on a regular basis, or even if you just listened to one episode. Without you and your support, this would not be possible. I'm Gary DePaul. Until next time, lead on.